Greetings, guys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel where we talk about all things spooky, Dial H for horror. I am your ghostess with the mostest, and today is a big day. Today, I'm actually not going to be talking about a movie or a TV show or anything like that that's spooky because this is a really big day for me. Today is the 1 year anniversary of the start of my podcast. It's not really the 1 year anniversary of the start of the channel because the channel didn't start till October of last year, but it is the 1 year anniversary of my podcast. So I thought I would do like a quick video just kind of like explaining why I started my podcast and also explaining some plans that I have for my channel and my podcast going forward. So yeah, here we go. So the reason why I started my podcast, I know like people oftentimes are like, well, why would somebody who's not in the movie industry or in any industry like that start a podcast about that? Who cares about your opinions? You're like nobody. And I kind of do feel like that sometimes because I'm not really anybody. Like I don't work for the movies. I don't work for any of that stuff. I'm just a person who really likes horror. I really love horror movies. I've been a big fan of them since I was about 13, 14 years old. And I've seen a lot of them. I'm still seeing a lot of them. I'm opening my mind to a lot of new ones and a lot of old ones, classics. So the reason why I started my podcast is because I talk about horror media a lot. And 90% of the time, the people I'm talking about it to aren't into horror movies. They don't care. They're not interested. And for me, it's just kind of like been an outlet so I can talk about that stuff. And then there's people who I know who do listen to it who are interested in horror movies, and I found like a miniature audience so far. And that's really nice. It's really great to actually be able to reach people who are interested in horror movies. You know, again, I'm nobody. I don't work in the movie industry. I don't do like movie reviews for a living really right now or anything like that. I just do this because it gives me a chance to talk about something that really interests me that I can't really just talk about with people that I know because they're like, yeah, I don't watch horror movies. Like, what are you talking about, Shay? So that's the reason why I started it. The other reason I started the podcast was a lot to do with the pandemic. I actually, obviously, since today is the anniversary, this was actually a few days before my job closed down. My old job that I was working at closed down. This was a few days before that. I was actually homesick with strep throat, and I was actually at that point where I was getting over it, and I was at home. I was bored. I had been watching a lot of movies that week because I had nothing to do. I was literally sick in bed, and a friend of mine had said to me, hey, you know, if you're that bored, why don't you start a podcast? And I was like, okay. So I started one reviewing the movies I had watched that week, which is my very first episode. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check that podcast episode out. And yeah, it was a really big, like, just a thing for me to do in that moment in time. And I actually did that one episode. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll continue doing this. Maybe I won't. I ended up watching The Invisible Man. And that was a relatively new movie at the time. So I was like, well, let me review that. So I reviewed that. And then I didn't do anything for a few weeks because I had no content. You know, things were crazy. Things were like insane in the world at that moment. And I then decided to, I saw a TikTok about a viral horror movie that quote unquote kills people who watches it called Antrum. And I decided to watch that and do an episode on that. And then that's when I kind of got into the habit of trying to do an episode a week. And then I got burnt out towards the end of the year, and I decided I wanted to take the podcast to YouTube. So I was like, well, the only way I'm going to be able to do this is if I come up with a plan, and that's where we are today. So I started, like I said, I started the podcast with like the best intentions in mind, just as an outlet. This is not something to me that I'm an expert on. You know, I'm not an expert on it, but I figured also I could bring my opinions to the internet and not be as harsh as some people. Like, no offense to, there's a lot of great creators, content creators out there that voice their opinion, but I do feel that a lot of people focus in on the negative. And I know that like my first few set of videos have been largely negative because I've been watching a lot of movies that are largely bad movies. But I'm trying to get away from that. And there are some new horror movies coming out and new horror content. And I am going to preface this by saying that even though it's not a horror movie, I am totally doing a Mortal Kombat review next month because I'm so excited for that movie. And I think that I need to dedicate an episode of this podcast and this YouTube channel to the Mortal Kombat movie. So, I mean, it's gory, it's violent, it'll fit into the aesthetic of this channel. So, I'm just prefacing, I'm just throwing that out because I'm really excited. So who knows, this may branch off and end up being like a channel where I review more horror movies or more movies that aren't horror. But yeah, I'm just very excited to be able to share this with people. And, if people like it, great. If people don't, hey, it's not like I work in the movies, so my opinion is very, very invalid. I just figured it was a place where I could try to be a little bit more positive about the movies that I watch. I could try to be a little bit more direct because I do feel like there's a lot of negative content and a lot more people focus on what they don't like than what they do like. And in this case, I found a niche for that. So now, what can we expect going forward for this? Well, I'm still planning on pulling double duty and doing my podcast episodes and my YouTube channel episodes. I am finishing up college, so I will probably continue this format of only doing 3 videos a month. Well, this month you get an extra one because of my anniversary. But I'll probably keep the format of doing 3 videos a month because it's just easier. It's easier for me to plan. It's easier for me to focus than trying to do like an episode a week, and I'm actually going to be taking some time off in May from both the channel and the podcast just so I can focus on school for a little bit because I'll be getting closer to graduation at that point. So, but after I graduate, I do have some great ideas going forward that are going to be less focused on just doing movie reviews and just doing that TV show reviews, because I think that it's great that I'm able to do that, but I also want to branch out and do more stuff. I cannot really go into detail because I don't have everything planned out exactly yet, but I do know that one thing I am probably going to start incorporating is makeup on this channel. I don't look like a whole meal right now because I haven't been doing my full beat, but I would love to start doing makeup and movie reviews. I think that would be fun. It'll be a nice little thing. I would also like to expand to ARGs. I might even have an interest in playing some horror games. Resident Evil 8 is coming out in May. So there might be some horror games that show up on this channel as time goes on. I might get interested in that. It wouldn't become a gaming channel. It would just be like a thing I do maybe once a month, maybe as a special thing. Who knows? I don't have details worked out yet, but I have a lot of ideas. Because I want to expand this. I also would like to, at least once a month, review a movie or a TV show that's not horror related, something that I'm interested in. Like I said, Mortal Kombat comes out next month, and I'm really excited about that. So whatever I might be really excited about, I might do a review on it. It'll still be largely a horror-based channel, but I'm trying to find more things that make this channel more interesting that isn't just me sitting here talking about movies, because I had all these plans originally back in October and November, but it got crazy because it was holiday time, and now I'm like, okay, I'm finishing up school, I need to just focus on this. So we're just going to focus on what's in front of us right now, which is the movie reviews. That's the best I can do right now, and I think I'm doing a great job, and I'm really glad that people are watching it and are enjoying it. I will say that my Sadako versus Kayako video that I did last year, I'm surprised to see so many people have viewed it. I'm surprised. I don't know if so many people are viewing it or if it's like a few people viewing it multiple times. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not sitting in the room with these people, but it's pretty crazy to see that it's gotten that much engagement. And that's cool to me because that's what I want to see happen with this channel, and that's what I hope continues to happen going forward. So all I'm going to say now, just to leave you guys with this, is thank you for watching. Thank you for listening if you've been listening. Thank you for continuing to support me. It helps. It inspires me. It keeps me going. And I am very grateful for everything that I am getting to do with this. It's a learning process. I know my videos are not the best edited, not the best shot. I'm still working on that. It is very difficult for me to edit and do all the things I need to do right now because I'm in school. School takes up literally my entire week from Monday till Sunday. So I don't have a lot of time to sit down and just like focus in editing. I used to have another YouTube channel where I did makeup tutorials, and that was a decent editing job, but I had a terrible setup because I was using like my cell phone and everything, like that terrible sound setup, terrible everything. Now I have a good setup, but no time to actually do real serious editing. So hopefully after I graduate, I will be able to do more editing and get in there and give you guys high quality stuff. And there might also be a surprise in October. I'm really hoping I'm able to bring back my Halloween makeup tutorials that I used to do on my old channel. And since I will be out of school at that point in time, there's nothing saying I can't do at least 1 or 2 Halloween makeup tutorials for this channel. It might be pretty cool. So keep an eye out. There's going to be some cool stuff coming up. Probably not in the next few months. Maybe in June, once I have my break and I have my chance to reconfigure everything, you guys will start to see some of the stuff come out. But right now, I'm just grateful that you guys have been listening, been watching, been sharing with your friends, been telling people. I am a girl who likes to watch horror movies. I am not a professional reviewer. I don't work in the movie industry. I don't know anybody in the movie industry. I just really like to watch horror movies. I just really love horror. I really love Halloween, and I'm really excited to be able to share that with people who also love those things. So here's to a very, very bright and exciting future on this channel. I have really good feeling about this venture that's been happening in my life, and I'm really excited to keep it going. And I'm just happy I made it to a year, because when I started this podcast, I didn't even start it with the intention to go beyond a month. It was just something to do because I was bored and I was watching a lot of movies that week. But it's helped keep me positive. It's helped keep me sane during the pandemic, because with everything that goes on that's so crazy, it's actually giving me things to watch that take my mind off of the messed up stuff that happens in the real world. To me, all the stuff I watch on TV and the movies and stuff like that is nothing compared to what we're going through right now. So I feel very happy that I have this outlet, and I feel very happy that I have an outlet that people actually have gravitated to, and that my friends like to watch, and they tell their friends about, and their friends tell their friends. So I'm just hoping I can keep this up for however long I can keep this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Here's 2 more years with Dial H for Horror as your ghostess with the mostest. So again, thank you for watching this video. If you took the time to watch this video, I really appreciate you. You're awesome. Gizmo also appreciates you. He is my co-host. He doesn't say anything, but you know, he's here. And I'm just really excited to share this channel with you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to wrap this video up because I don't want to make it too long of me just talking about absolutely nothing. I have been Shay, you have been awesome, and I will see you guys in the next video.